So, the topic of today's discussion is stress symptoms and factors affecting its intensity. The learning objectives are primary and secondary symptoms of stress, factors affecting the intensity of stress, management practices to improve stress intensity. The current picture of heat detection in India and abroad. Failure to detect stress is a major factor contributing to low fertility. And in last decade or two, there has been a drastic reduction in reproductive efficiency in bovine, particularly all over the world. And one of the major factors contributing to this decline in reproductive efficiency is poor heat detection. Approximately half of the species are undetected in dairy farms of USA. Almost 15% of the animals presented for AI in USA are not in heat detected by high blood progesterone levels. So if the picture in USA is this, what can be the picture in India? Because India is far less technologically advanced than United States. So we can get the picture that heat detection is a very important part in development or in improvement of reproductive efficiency of a dairy farm. Signs of heat. Primary sign. Primary sign is the sign which animal exhibit in heat, and in no other condition the animal will be exhibiting this sign unless and until the animal is in heat or stress. Only in this case these signs will be exhibited. That is standing heat. Standing to be mounted is the most accurate sign of stress. Moving away when a mount is attempted is not a sign of true heat. So if a bull or a teaser approaches a cow and the cow moves away or runs away, this indicates that the cow or any animal is not in true heat. So if an animal is in true heat, it should accept a mount, it should accept, allow the male or the teaser to mount on her. An express cow usually stands to be mounted 20 to 55 times during her heat period, and each mount lasts 3 to 7 seconds. You can see in this picture how a mount looks like. The cow, the front cow is in heat and is standing and allowing the rear cow to mount on her. So if this is the picture, only then we can say that the cow is in heat, and this will only happen in if the cow is in heat. In no other condition, the cow will allow a teaser or a bull to mount on her. So this is one of the true symptom of heat. One thing to be noted here is that for this symptom to be exhibited by the cow should be having the freedom to move. If the cow is very closely confined and is not having the freedom to move, sometimes it will not run away or it will not move away from the teaser, and we will get false symptoms of heat. Secondary signs. These signs vary in duration and intensity and may occur before, during, and after standing heat. These signs should be used by the dairy farmers as a clue to isolate these cows with sexually active teasers for observing standing heat. So these signs basically are not, uh, we can say, pathognomonic or a signs which are, these are the signs which are associated with heat, but can be exhibited or can be uh, demonstrated by cows also not in heat. So what are these signs? Let's see what are these signs. Secondary signs. Mounting other cows. That means a cow which is mounting other cow. Might be the cow is in heat, or it can also be that the cow is not in heat or might have passed its heat 1 or 2 days back or is going to come to heat, that is in pro-estrus. This type of cow will also mount other cows. So this though is a very strong indication of heat, but might might be that the cow is not in true heat. Bellowing and restlessness. Again, this symptom is associated with stress, but always we can't say that if a cow is bellowing, the cow is in heat. Sometimes the cow may bellow due to hunger. Sometimes the cow may bellow if she sees a stranger. So these symptoms cannot be held as symptoms which are true to heat, but they're always associated with heat. Mucus discharge. Again, mucus discharge is one of the symptoms which is associated with heat, though many a times cows which are pregnant can also discharge some amount of mucus. Vulvar redness and edema. This is also associated with heat, but again, these are not pathognomonic as we have said. Secondary signs are signs which are always associated with heat, but can't be uh, held true to symptoms of heat. Sometimes cows in advanced pregnancy do have vulvar edema and redness. So you can't say that if a cow is having redness and edema, the cow is in heat 100% of time. So, but if a cow is in heat, yes, this symptom will be there. Then decreased feed intake and milk yield. Factors affecting expression of stress symptoms. Type of housing. These are the factors which actually affect or which have been found to affect the intensity and duration of stress. The first one is type of housing, second one is footing surface, third feet and leg problem, fourth cow density, fifth temperature, sixth variation during the day, seventh herd mate status, and eighth nutritional status. Type of housing. Cattle that interact exhibit more pronounced stress symptoms. Cattle should be housed just to allow them to interact with each other. If we rear cattle or cows in isolation, say if a cow is not given the liberty to see other cows or interact with other cows, naturally their heat symptom will be diminished. Duration of stress will also be quite short in cows which do not have social interaction amongst themselves. So the housing of the cows should be such that they have some uh, some chance to interact with other cows, and uh, this actually uh, gives a better heat symptom and intensity. Footing surface. Duration of heat has been found to be longer in cows observed on dirt compared to concrete. Icy or slicky concrete is a problem. The concrete should be grooved or scrabbled. So if a cow is in dirt, that is in ground, a cow will be giving good symptom of heat, and in concrete floors, the intensity of heat decreases. These have been scientifically proven. Scientific work has been done on all these factors which I am telling. So there are scientific basis to strong scientific support to justify these observations. So if a cow is in dirt, the cow is kept standing on the ground, it will give better signs and symptoms of it than on concrete. And even in concrete, if the cow is standing on smooth concrete, flaky concrete, then the intensity will be far lesser than a cow standing on grooved concrete or rough concrete floors. This can be substantiated by this data presented by Brett et al. 1986, published in Journal of Dairy Science. Here we see that a cow on dirt has an average duration of almost 14 hours of heat compared to 9.4 hours um, in cows which are standing on concrete. And during the estrus mounts are 7 times in dirt compared to 3.2 times in concrete, and stands to be mounted 6.3 times in dirt and 2.9 times in concrete, almost half. Average during 30 minutes heat check. So if a person is checking heat for 30 minutes, then he will be getting 3.7 times mount in dirt average, and if it is in concrete, it will be only 2.5 times. And it stands to be mounted 3.8 times again in dirt and 2.7 times in concrete. This is a scientific study. This proves that if a cow is kept in open ground, it will show better symptom of heat than the cow is housed in a concrete floor. Feet and leg problem. Cows with sore feet or poor structural conformation exhibit less mounting activity. So if a cow is having some feet problem, some wound in the leg or laminitis is there, so it will have less mounting activity naturally. And one British study involving 770 cows with nearly 1500 lactations showed that lameness caused by specific lesions on the hoof was associated with 70-day increase in days to first service. If there are lesions in the hoof, there will be increase in uh, the postpartum anestrus duration. Cow density. Overcrowding may increase the percentage of false positive heat detection because confinement increase the percentage of false mounts. So if large number of cows are uh, kept in small floor space area, that means there is overcrowding, heat symptoms generally decrease. And there will be more number of false mounts because concentration of pheromones secreted by mature follicles will be more in the air, and since the animals do not have the freedom to move around, so they will be forced to stand, and there will be a lot many number of mounts giving a false positive result. Temperature. Thus, stress symptoms as well as mounting activity are observed between 75 degrees Fahrenheit to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, that is between 24 to 29 degrees centigrade, that is a comfort zone for the cow. So if the cows are kept at this temperature range, we get excellent, excellent mounting activity, excellent symptoms of heat, secondary symptoms of heat, uh, compared to if the temperature is too high or if it is too low. Beyond this temperature range, there is marked decrease in mounting activity. Variations during the day. In a study in Canada, cows were observed for mounting activity over a period of 24 hours by means of a video camera. The study showed that 70% of the mounting activity occurred between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. This suggests that cows are more likely to exhibit mounting activity when they are not distracted. So we can see that 70% of the cows are coming to heat between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. And at this time, especially during the midnight hours, we are not observing the cow for heat. And if this be the scenario, what is the problem is uh, when we detect the cow in heat, they are already 8 to 12 hours late because when we get up in the morning and we detect heat, the cow has begun its heat, say in the midnight or in the night hours, that was not detected. And when we detect the heat and time the AI accordingly, the timing gets disturbed, and this leads to poor conception rate. So this is very important finding that most of the hits are during the night hours. The night heat detection is very important for success of AI. You can see from this figure, this is adapted from a work done by Hernick et al. 1975. There are uh, data how many percentage of dairy cows mounting during different hours of the day. So 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. it is uh, uh, around 18 to 19%. 1 p.m. to 7%. 7 p.m. again around 15%. 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. This tall bar you see almost 35%. 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. almost about 30%. So these two tall towers give ample testimony to the fact that most of the heats come between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. Herd myths chatter. Cows in mid-heat show less mounting activity. Studies show cows in heat mount 2.5 times more than those in mid-estrus. Estrus detection in this case will be less efficient. So if a cow is in heat and other cows need to mount on her, but the other cows are in mid-heat, there will be less number of mounting. On the other hand, if the other cows, that is the herd mate of that cow which is in heat, are close to heat, that is in pro-estrus, or they have passed heat 1 or 2 days before, then there will be lot many number of cows mounting on her, and this will be very easy to detect heat in this cow. Nutritional factors. Weak heat symptoms may be due to negative energy balance, anemia, loss of weight, then scarring. So these are the factors also responsible for anestrus. As we have already studied in previous class that these are the factors which are also responsible for anestrus, and these are the factors which are responsible for silent heat, poor intensity of heat, and decreased duration of heat. The stress detection program. So from the discussion, what should be done? What should be our take-home message? As a dairy enterprise owner, what should be done to improve heat detection? So the first point is cows should be moved to open free space to detect mounting activity. They should be taken to an open space, open pasture, or open small area where they will be free to interact with other cows, and um, they will be also free to move around, so that there will be lesser number of false mounts. So if a cow is in heat, he will be standing and allowing other cows to mount on her. So this can only happen if the cows are having the liberty to interact with each other. Cows should be monitored early morning and late evening for mounting activity for at least 20 minutes. This can be best done if the cows are let loose to a small open area for say half an hour to 1 hour in the morning and the evening. The floor of the open area should not be slippery, and if made of concrete should be grooved. Again, if the open area, uh, the best is open area should not have any concrete floor. It should be open ground, or it can be a small pasture. But if it is made of concrete, the concrete should not be smooth. It should have some roughness, or it should be grooved. All cows should be checked for lameness and sore foot. Then avoid overcrowding. So too many cows in small area, this will uh, this will give false results, and it will also decrease the intensity of heat. Summer comfort. In summer months, especially in India, summers are very discomforting. So some measures should be done to give comfort to the cows. For example, they can be kept under fan. Roofs can be padded with wet gunny bags, and cows can be provided plenty of drinking water. So by this, the heat stress can be minimized, and this definitely improves the symptoms of heat. Percentage of exotic blood should not be more than 60%. This should be kept in uh, mind that when we are doing AI, we should not allow the exotic blood percentage to go above 60%. For example, if a nondescript cow is bred with a Jersey bull semen, the F1 generation will be Jersey cross. F2 generation, that means this Jersey cross cow should not be bred with pure Jersey semen, pure Jersey bull. Rather, it should be inseminated with a Jersey cross so that the exotic blood percentage do not rise above 60%. Use of trained heat detectors with financial incentive. We can give some financial incentives to these heat detectors who the person whosoever will be employed for detecting heats because in it is which is sincerity and efficiency of heat detection that success of a dairy farm will rely upon because conception rate ultimately is determined uh, by number of successful heats detected as well as timely insemination. So these personnel are really resource personnel for a dairy farm and financial incentives could be provided to them. It is better to check cows for heat 3 times a day. It is 4 a.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. As we have seen that 70% of heats come between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. So 3 times heat detection gives a very excellent result and no heat goes unnoticed and timely heat detection also allows for timely insemination. Consider using heat detection aids like detector devices and animals. So this we will study in the next class how we can use different devices to further reconfirm the signals which are given by teaser animals or teaser bulls. So this is all for today. Thank you.